Okay, so now we're going to walk through some MailChimp and how to set up some email automation campaigns and some basics in MailChimp. And now I'm going to share my screen. All right, so here is the MailChimp dashboard. And MailChimp, all email service providers are somewhat similar. I've been into Aweber. It's a little more complicated because they're dealing with people that know how to do online marketing. It's for online marketers. And they're all getting more sophisticated, so don't feel alone if you're frustrated in trying to deal with any of these anymore, because they're catering to people that know what they're doing with marketing, although they're also catering to small business people as well. So when you open the dashboard, you have these tabs up at the top left: campaigns, templates, lists, and reports. And you're going to look at your reports to see how your email automation streams are doing. So we're going to go into campaigns. And it's a good idea to start creating campaigns for different purposes and putting them in folders. None of you guys really need to do that yet, though. I have a lot of different lists going on and different types of campaigns, so I'll put them in a folder. So, for example, my weekly newsletter that I send out, I put in a folder because it's going out to people that subscribe to the network and they want to get updates on network members and events and stuff like that. So that's a different purpose. You guys could use the same thinking. I have a different folder for all my meetup group emails so that when I want to find all these emails, I can put them all in one place. I can look at them and I can see reporting on all of them to see what the reports look like and how the open rates look. So that's the purpose, to have folders. Up here it says, I'm going to clear this, my most recent campaigns. I'm going to click on that. So all of my most recent campaigns that are coming up are here. I have some that are sent. They were sent today, or they were sent today. This is reminders to the meetup group. And then I see in yellow things that are scheduled. So when you get kind of caught up on what you want to do and you have an email marketing strategy or plan in place, you can create all your emails like for the month in a day and schedule them to go out. Ongoing emails are my email automation streams. And you'll see on this left it says ongoing. Oh, that's not true. They're ongoing because they haven't been sent. MailChimp changed how they do things so that automation is tied into the campaigns, which is a little confusing. But I can tell here, series, these are ongoing automations. It's a series, 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 series. And if I go into this series, you're going to see email. So this is my series for this lead magnet. There's 1, 2, 3 emails for this in this automation series. And if I go back, you can see here underneath the title, it's telling me it's a regular type of email campaign. This is a regular email campaign. And down here, custom event workflow. That's how you know it's a series, because it's telling me under that title. Can you guys see that? Custom event workflow. That's telling me that is a campaign. I mean, email automation stream as opposed to a campaign. Does everyone understand the difference between a campaign and an email automation series? Raise your hand if you know the difference. Okay, so Marie, an email automation series is a sequence that never changes unless you go and edit it. So that lead magnet email automation series for you is always live. Whenever somebody opts in for your lead magnet, it's always live and available. You don't have to respond to it. It just does the work for you. Okay, that's an email automation stream, and they're calling it a custom event workflow in MailChimp. That's how you know when you look at your campaigns, when you're looking for a workflow, and maybe if I use the search custom event, it should sort out all those for me. No, okay, never mind. Sorry. Okay. MailChimp changed in the last few months, which is why I'm not fully proficient. But if I just go to recent, ongoing, I'm going to find my custom event workflows are right here. So I want to show you how to set up a campaign. So a campaign is simply an email that you want to send out to everybody or some particular list. Like I have a couple of lists going on, and let's look at my lists. I have my meetup group. That's you guys. People that come to the meetup group. That's part of my list right here. Weekly online community meetup on Zoom. That's one list. I have my active members right here. You guys that are active in the Mind, Body, Spirit Network. That's a different list. And I send out different emails to you guys. And then I have people that are members, subscribers to the Mind, Body, Spirit Network. This is the general public that's interested in what's going on in the Mind, Body, Spirit Network. And then I have people that have opted into my lead magnet to the Mind, Body, Spirit Network. And then I have other websites that I've developed. So those are my lists. And I like to send out campaigns to those lists that speak to them because they have different interests. So let's just say I'm going to create a basic campaign. Click on Create Campaign. I want to create an email. And up here it says, do you want a regular email, an automated email, plain text, or A/B test? A/B split test is sophisticated emails, and you're not going to do that until you have a significant sample. You need like 10,000 people to make that worthwhile. Plain text is you're not going to add any images or, it's going to be super simple. Automated is your automated sequence, and we'll do that in a second. So a regular old email, I'm going to send out a regular old email, and I'm going to call it weekly meet up group topic. I'm going to start it. And they're going to ask who you're sending this to. Choose a list. I want it to go to my meetup group, which is right here, Weekly Online Community. And I'm going to send it to everybody on this list. Here they're asking, do you want to segment it out? And you guys aren't doing this yet. Although, Deborah, we kind of set that up for you, but we're not using it. And I don't think you need to use it right now. It's fine. So I'm going to send it to the entire list, and I'm going to go to Setup. This is where you're going to write your headline. Email subject. And right under this, it says, how do I write a good subject line? If you click on that, where'd it go? It disappeared. Whoopsies. Sometimes it does that in here. I don't know what's going on. Let me refresh the page. I don't know why that disappears on me. Apparently, they want you to use the Chrome browser over any other, and I'm not using that at the moment. Okay, so if you click on this link, how do I write a good subject line? You click on it, and you do Subject Line Researcher. So I happen to know that using the term members in a subject line has a good results. So if I just put members in my Subject Line Researcher and I search, it's going to tell me this phrase. It's got a 5-star rating to use members in the, exclusive members. These are all 5-star phrases to use. So when you're going to build your subject line, it's fun, have a subject line in mind first, then go to the subject line researcher and make sure some of those, you can incorporate some of the phrases that make sense. Like I could use members only event for all of my subject line topics. Another good subject line is the first name merge tag. And this is what that first name merge tag looks like. And I'll show you where it is when you're creating your campaign. So if I just search on this, interesting. If you do RE first name, it's a 4-star thing. I've never looked at this search before, so it's interesting to me. F name. So this is the merge tag. And does everyone understand merge tag? What this code is doing is picking up your list subscriber's first name if they gave it to you. So if you got 1,000 people on the list, that F name is going to pick out everyone's first name if it's available and insert it in that subject line. And remember this, using this has proven to boost open rates by 15 to 17%. So when you look at this, I could absolutely use any of these. And these are great. F name, please reply. If you have a question. It's got a 4-star open rate. Yes, Deborah. Whoops.
How do you find these merge?
I'm going to show you. It's right on, on the same page.
Okay, perfect.
So look how cool searching on what open rates are. I mean, MailChimp has billions of emails of data. Why not, use them? And some stuff they don't have any research on. 'Cause if they're super unique, they don't have search data on it. So they're using this F name. There's a lot of great, any of these you can use. Hola, F name. F name, please. It's all good. Let me just do one more search because these are pretty interesting. Someone give me something to search. Like, let's search PTSD for Marie. Let's see if anyone's reading stuff about PTSD. Not a lot. And that's probably because it's a highly targeted audience. Not everyone on your list has this problem, unless you segment them. And then it would make sense. If we started to do lead magnets just for PTSD people, you would definitely use that in a subject line. Anyone have an idea about what to search?
Do meditation.
All right. I was going to say do meditation. Moon meditation, full moon meditation, meditation practice, and then it dumps.
So is that the number of the stars coming from your data or MailChimp?
MailChimp's. Much better database than your own. Way more going on.
Could you look up depression?
Yeah. Again, you guys, that is super targeted. So even though depression's got 3 stars, that's pretty good for being highly targeted. And Deborah, you can still use meditation because that's your group. Even though it's low here because it's, it's not highly targeted, right? So don't be discouraged, but you might want to come up with a moon meditation, right? That was kind of interesting to see. So you got to come at it from a different way for them to get it open, and it's more general here. There are more general terms going on. What's that, Marie?
The word transition. Transitions?
Transitions? Or like life transitions is really what you're getting at? Yeah. That sounds probably going to be too specialized, but let's see. No results for life. Let's just try a transition. Hold on.
No, you didn't spell it right.
Oh, I didn't?
You have to.
Right. That'll do it. Transitions. I always start with transitions, 3-star. That's good. Let's look at transformation. This is so much fun. We're gonna run out of time. I'm gonna stop doing this. Transformation, transformational, 3-star. All right. So that's what you want to use before you write that subject line. Have your subject line in mind, and then go and see if there's other words you could use to boost that open rate. And right here, to the right of this, on this setup, there's personalize the to field. Include the recipient's name in the message using merge tags. And right here, so if I click this, I'm specifying F name for the merge tag. And then I'd have to test how this works. To Bob Smith in the email, okay, this is more, okay. So it's saying to make it more personal, to Bob Smith in the email instead of to Bob. But you could just copy this and paste it up in the subject line like that. Okay? And it's also showing up right here, those merge tags. F name is first name, L name is last name. And most of you are only capturing first names, and that's what I'd recommend because your opt-in rate will go up when you don't ask for too much information. So first name and email is enough unless you really need all that other information. And if you are more kind of like an advanced, like a business marketer, you would ask for first name, last name, business name. Like that would not be too much for me to ask. People have a website, company name. I want people that are serious about their business, so I could ask for more. But for you guys, I keep it simple. All right. So that's the first step. And down here is all the steps to setting this up, right at the bottom. So the first step was choosing recipients, what list you're going to use. Second step is setup. Third step is template. MailChimp has already designed templates. That makes it easier to design a nice looking email. And really, most of the time you want to use the simple text one. People are more responsive to that than a lot of images. This has images and buttons, and I use this for my newsletter because it's more of a newsletter format. You can use any of these and test them out. But I think for you guys, we want to boost open rates. I keep it simple and use simple text. So let me just take a look at this one. And it's loading. And it's super simple. An email has different blocks of content that you can use. On the left-hand side, they're showing you the blocks. And when you click on the block, on the right-hand side, it's going to where you edit it. So you edit it here, add your content, whatever you want, write something up, add an image. Everyone know how to add an image in a Word document? Marie, do you know how to add an image in a Word document or
No.
Okay, so these are all your icons for doing different things. And I want to add an image. Here's the image icon. I have a gallery of image. I could choose one of these gallery images and insert it, or I can upload one, which I'm going to show you how to do, so you know how to do it. You upload an image. Let's just go anywhere. Let's see, Meetup group, images. I'm going to upload, let's just say this one, or that's kind of this one. Okay, you upload the image. And it's showing you the width. This is way too big for email. Email, you don't really want to go much more than 600 wide if you want it to span the email. If you want it to just be a sidebar, you want to go half of that, like 300, and you test this out. If that's going to link to something like your website, you'd put that website URL here, like http www. You'd put wherever you want that image to go to in this link to URL. And over here it has show image style options. And what I want to do is you can put a border around that image if you want, which I don't want to do. I want to align it flush left so that the text is on the right. And you could put an alternate text in here. And this image is for a case study. And you want to put that alternate text in there because most emails, when they deliver it, they don't show you the image unless you tell them to show the image. And you want to default text so that they know there's an image there and what that image is about. That's what the alternate text is for. And then I want there to be space around this. So I want space of like 20 pixels to the right and 20 pixels to the bottom on this particular orientation so that you're not all crammed up against your text. And Deborah, I noticed on some of yours you need space around some of your images. I saw coming through. You need to space it out. So there's my image and my text. I want to hyperlink something, and this is, let me go to a hyperlink. Let's just go to, shoot. If you have a website you want to share, go to the website, and you click up into the URL box. This is where it's blue. That's called a URL box. That's the address of the URL you want to send somebody to. You copy it. You go back in here, you highlight the words you want to link to, and you click on this link button. It looks like a chain. You click on it, you paste in the URL, and now it's a hyperlink. You definitely want to have hyperlinks and calls to action in your emails. Now I'm going to save it. And there, my email is ready to go, essentially. I have 2 headlines here. I don't need this extra block. I'm going to get rid of it. If I want to put other types of things in this email and create my own design, I could grab an image block from over here. This is all these, over on the right are all these different things you can use. One's your custom code. I want to put an image at the top of this instead. And it didn't move over there. You want to see it turn blue. Block, drop, block here. There we go. There's an image. Then I'll upload an image. And I'll save it. Now I want some space between the image and this headline. So there's a divider icon. I'm going to put some space here. It's going to ask me, do I want to make it more padding? I'll give it a little more padding on the top so I have more space. And now my thing is freezing up on me. Shoot. Sorry.
Well, when I'm working in MailChimp, I always think that's just me when I have that kind of trouble. I thought it was my computer. It must be MailChimp.
Do you have the Chrome browser, Deborah?
Yeah, but I don't like to use it, but I guess I need to.
When I have problems with MailChimp, they're like, you need to use Chrome, which kind of stinks, but
okay.
Use Chrome just for MailChimp, and I usually do, and I should have done it today. So now see how it just gave me more space? This padding, that's what padding is. I'm going to give myself a little more so it's obvious. Now I got even more space around that image up there with this divider. And I typically like to have even space. So, all right, so I'm going to save this. And now I got a lot of space for this.
Where did your title go?
Oh, I don't know. Good point. I don't know where it went. Well, I can always put it back in right here. And I can put in a title. I'm going to use this as my title. I'm going to make it a title font, though. Under Styles, I highlighted. I hit Styles, and I want a heading font. Okay? And that's a good size. Maybe it's too big. I could go a little smaller with the H2 font. That's how you change fonts. And I don't recommend messing around with fonts. Stick with what they've got because it works. They're using the most readable stuff. You're not ready to brand yourself. And don't, just try to keep it, the simpler the better in email marketing. That's what data is showing. You try to get fancy, people don't read it and it doesn't convert. So stick with the font that they have. If you want to add a color, use one color and stick to it so that you have consistency in branding. This is what our branding is going to be about. A lot of amateurs in graphic design and everything think a lot of colors and different fonts, it looks like a mess. Looks like a circus. And I can tell an amateur email when it comes to me. I'm like, oh, this is kind of a mess. So stay on the safe side and use what MailChimp has given you. If you want to add a little color, it would be under here, and I'll just make it easy to see. I don't love their colors. They're a little too fluorescent for me. So you can do custom, you can get a custom color here and mess around with colors. But again, choose one and stick with it. I don't want you messing around with more than one. All right. So those are some basics on how, and there's some fun things. If you were to sell products, which none of you are, there's an image group you could throw in here. And now you can drop in two different images, which is kind of fun. So play around with the blocks and see what they do. And just stick with one or two of them. Don't use them all. You know, if Deborah, if you're just going to send a little meme, you put an image card in there. So you put in an image and a little caption. That's it. That's what those are for. All right. Any questions on setting up an email here? Okay. Your preview's on the left, your design on the right. You click on the box you want to edit on the left. You edit it on the right. People get confused with this. And you always got to save and close that box on the bottom where I'm mousing down there. Okay, the last step in this is to confirm it. Confirm that you're ready. Oh, I shouldn't have gone to that last step. Let me go back. We're going to go back to design. You want to preview this and test it. So up here at the top, there's a preview and test. So I'm going to enter preview mode. And I want to look at it, make sure I like the way it looks. And I'm looking at my subject line, looks good. It's from me, Liz Garcia. It's from my email. That looks good. And the subject is incomplete right now. So I'm looking at it. Looks good to me. I'm going to click on this link, make sure it works. And it is working. It's going to the link I wanted it to go to. These are some other links I didn't put in there, but I did put it in the image has a link. Let's make sure that's working. It's popping into a new browser, as you can see, and that's working. You want to make sure those work. I've had many that don't work. All right? So that's one way to test, and one other. Yes, Deborah?
I didn't see how you got to the test.
Oh, all right. See my mouse moving around here? Go to the top on the black bar. At the very top right.
Okay.
Preview and test. And this, yeah, this was in your way. Sorry. Preview and test. Enter preview mode. You see that?
Perfect. Okay.
Another good way to test is to send yourself an email. So I'm going to send a test email. And it's going to default to whoever is the administrator, to me. So I'm going to send it to me. And if you want to send it to someone else, you can include instructions here like, hey, Deborah, is this working? Okay, so that someone, and then I'd send the test. And then it will come to you, and you can look at it and make sure it looks good and it's working properly. You definitely want to do that before you send them out. All right. I'm not going to go into any more advanced stuff here, just this, because I don't even use it myself. All right, so now we can confirm it, but it's giving me an error message. Default text content. And what this is telling me is that I'm using some of their default text. And they're saying, hey, you're using my template and our default text is there. Get rid of it. Are you following me on what that means, you guys? Okay. You've had that happen, Deborah? Okay, it's good for it to happen. So if you get that error message, you got to resolve it. So you click the resolve button, and it should take me back to the design. And all of this is default text right here. This is default. I got to add my own unique thing here. This all of this content is default. So let me just get rid of this. Let's just add an image here so I can show you how to schedule. I'm just going to add an image. Okay, I'm going to save and close that, and I'm going to delete this because that's all custom. All right, now it's got all of my custom content here. Now I'm going to confirm, and I shouldn't have that error message. No, I'm good to go. So I'm all good to go. It's telling me my list is the weekly meetup group. I'm good with that. It's showing me my subject line. It's telling me where replies will go to. So if you have to ask a question, make sure that's the email address you want them to reply to. Tracking is on. Social media sharing is on. I don't have social cards enabled, which is fine. And now bottom right is schedule. Okay? Now, if you have a paid account like I do, I let MailChimp optimize send time for maximum engagement. That's down here at the bottom. Let MailChimp optimize send time for maximum engagement. And I'm telling them I want it to go out today. So they're telling me 1 o'clock is the best time for this list. And I found that different lists get different results for the same day, which is interesting. So it must be picking up data on responsiveness to my lists, as my guess. So, and then right here, you can schedule it out. So for my meetup groups, I schedule out 2 emails, one for the day before and one for the day of. So the day before one, I let MailChimp decide when to schedule it. So let's do that. They're recalculating the send time for the day of. The day before.
Sorry, Liz.
Go ahead.
So that part MailChimp is figuring out according to your list.
It seems like it is because each list has sometimes different times. I'm not sure. But it's also, I'm sure, based on their own data. It's both, is my guess. I'm not sure. There's some algorithm working that sends out. So I always use that, but you can only use that with a paid account. So for the day of email that I want to send, which would be Tuesday morning, like today, I'm going to tell them to send it at a particular time because I need it to get delivered an hour before because that's what's in the email. So I'm clicking this button that says send at a specific time. And I want it to be an hour before the meeting starts Eastern time. So the meeting starts at 9, my time, which is 11 Eastern time. So I need an hour before, would be 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm telling specifically when I want my email to go out, and then I schedule the campaign. Okay, so it's saying, hey, woohoo, I love Rock On. This is why I love MailChimp. We rock on when the email's ready to roll.
Always laugh about this.
I love MailChimp is just funny. They have funny stuff all the time, and that's why I love them. Okay. Then if I go up here to the top left to my campaigns, I'm going to see this weekly meetup group one is ready to roll for scheduled for Tuesday, October 31st. Now let's say I made a mistake. I got to go and edit it. It's easy enough to do. You just hit pause and edit. Pause the email. Go back. They're going to send you to this confirmation page, but I want to go back to design, which is at the bottom. All your steps are at the bottom. Design, template, setup, recipients. It's all at the bottom. And I'm going to change out this image and the link. So let's just say I did that. I'm going to go back and confirm it again. And I'm going to reschedule it. And it should default to what I already had. And it is because it was a specific time. I'm good to go. I reschedule the campaign. So once it's scheduled, it doesn't mean you can't fix it. You can. All right, so that's a basic campaign. We have a few more minutes, and you're going to just follow how you create a basic campaign for automation purposes. And I think I should probably do another quickie on automation, but I'm just going to do a quick setup of a new automation. So let's say I'm creating a new automation based on a particular lead magnet I created. So I'm going to create an email again. This time it's going to be automated. So MailChimp knows I want a series of emails is going into this creation. And they're going to ask you what kind of thing you want to do. I think the basic one is enough, or hold on, let me just, you have different options. No one's e-commerce, so that doesn't matter. So there's different options here. Typically, you can just stick with featured, welcome new subscribers, because you're building a new lead magnet, for example. So this is going to be new lead magnet series, personal branding, for example. And I'll do an email series about personal branding. And typically, I would create a new list for that, which I didn't do. So I'm just going to say, let's build my Athena Arena subscribers on personal branding. But again, I want to repeat, I would typically build a new list on personal branding because it's a different audience. And I should have done that first. So I created the campaign name. I created the subscribers. And now I've got my first welcome email. I'm going to create it just like I showed you guys to create a campaign email. And then you're going to decide how many emails in this series are there going to be. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Hold on. We need to look at the trigger. This is very important. When you do an email automation campaign and you have a lead magnet, for example, you typically want it to trigger immediately, and the default here is 1 day after someone subscribes. That's not ideal when you have a lead magnet because most people expect it right away. So I'm going to show you how to edit the trigger. So I'm going to click Edit the Trigger. Okay, so when someone subscribes to this list, it triggers, the trigger is a sign up. And I want it to happen immediately. And you can also say trigger when subscribers are imported. So let's say you get a subscriber that you meet at a networking group. They're not going to opt in, but they said, add me to your list. You're going to say yes. When you add someone to your list, they can get into the stream. Otherwise, they won't get into the stream. So you want to click this so that if you're out and about and you want to add someone to this automation, you can add them manually. All right. So I want the delay to be immediate so they get that lead magnet, but it's up to you. You decide when you want them to get it. But for lead magnets, immediate is the norm. And then in the top right, it said update the trigger. That's what I did just then. Now, when you add an email, the default is to trigger for the day after the previous one. So if you look here, I just added an email to the sequence, email number 2, 1 day after subscribers are sent the previous email. If I do it again, 1 day, blah, blah, blah. And if you do 7 to 10 emails, I like to break it up like on day 4. So on day 4, I'm going to edit the trigger here. I want it to go out 2 days or 3 days after the previous one. So let's say 3 days after the previous one will be my 4th one. And you can set all of these up. If you've got 7 emails, go ahead and set it up and then decide when you want them to go out. And that's how you do that. And typically a series of 7 is what's recommended because typically it takes 7 touch points for people to know, love, and trust you. Okay? And you don't have to add these all at once. You can definitely start an automation series as you can. If you can just start with 3, then do it. Add the emails later. It doesn't matter that everyone doesn't get everything in the email. Okay? And if you want to delete some of these, you can delete them. And then they make you write delete to confirm that you want to do it. Okay? So don't start off with 7 and be overwhelmed. Start off with however many you have ready. You know, have typically 2 or 3 to get you started. And for an email automation, yes, Kana?
So if you create 3 and then add starting 4 later, those people who received 1 through 3 will start receiving 4?
I think that they do. I've noticed that when I do that, I'm picking up things that are added, which is interesting. But it's okay if they get emails from you. It's something different and they don't know any better. But I'm fairly certain that has been happening to me, that and I was doing it when I was testing Deborah's. I noticed that after I'd already subscribed, I started to get add-on emails from somebody. I think it was Deborah. I'm not sure who it was, but
So you have to go.
That's fine. Okay, thank you. So start with as many as you can. Don't overwhelm yourself with 7 of them. Start with 2 or 3. So to make it easy, let me just tell you, the first one is going to be the delivery of your lead magnet. It's simple. Short and sweet, 2 paragraphs. Thanks for joining me. Here's your lead magnet. That's it. Automation number 2, I suggest being a welcome email that tells them more about you. Thank you for joining my list. This is what you can expect. And kind of welcome to my tribe. And this I trigger an hour after the first one. And it's very effective. Okay? So the trigger on the second email is I'm calling it, let me edit the design of this email. I'm calling it my welcome. It's my welcome to my tribe email. This is where you're going to give them, okay. I just want to save and return to the workflow. Hold on. So that second email is just, this is who I am, this is what to expect, welcome to my tribe. And I send it an hour after the lead magnet so that you have 2 short emails right in a row. And the third one will come the next day, which would be kind of referring back to the lead magnet. How did you do? And a strategy I've suggested to everyone to start is if you're doing like a top 10 or top 7, the lead magnet is a kind of quick bullet point of the top 7, and then each email goes deeper into each one of them. That's a good strategy and easy way to do an automation. All right, I don't want to, I'm running over time here, so this is all I really wanted to show you today. And when you confirm this, it's going to ask you that it's probably going to give me an error message, like I haven't done any of them yet, which is okay. So it's going to tell you where you have problems. You got to fix it before you can start confirm the automation. So I'm just going to save and exit out of this so I can go back and fix them. So any questions on automation? Do you think you can handle one? Yes, Marie.
Is this the same format you would use to send videos to people? No?
If you do it in a series.
Yeah, okay.
If you just want to send a video, like one at a time, you do a campaign. You're not going to do an automation for your videos unless you create a new, all right? I mean, you could, but I think you should stick to adding videos as part of a campaign, an ongoing campaign. Like once a week, you send a video, a value-driven video about whatever, all right? But you can't embed a video in a campaign. Do you know about that, Connor? You cannot. You can link it and upload an image that links to it. So you get the link, and let me save and exit out of here. Well, let's just go in here and edit one. Let's do a video. So a good part of a subject line for a video looks like this. Whoops. Something like that. You put video in the subject line, or recording or whatever. Which others have said, okay, this is not working. What the hell? Sorry. Swearing. We should check video in the subject line. let me just see what it says, if anything. Video marketers have said it converts at a 20% higher rate when you put it in the subject line. The click-through rate goes up by 20%. So here it's saying, and new video. Get to 4, so you could do and new video, video news. So, you know, there's definitely video there. All right, so let me just go quickly on how to do this because I'm running late. So I'm going to use a template with like an image in it. Or I'll go back to the basic one too. Go back to the basic one. This is how I do a video email. I'm going to put an image up at the very top. This is going to be the screen grab of your video, which we spoke about. Do you remember that, you guys? I'm going to grab one. This is a screen grab. This is an image of a video. See, it's got the play button. You want that play button on there, which is a little tricky if you don't know what you're doing. But if it doesn't have the play button, that's okay. So I'm clicking this image. I'm hitting insert. It is not a video. It's a picture of a video. And I'm going to link it to my YouTube. So whatever it is, www.youtube.com, blah, 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 whatever the code is. Okay? This is what a YouTube video looks something like this. Okay? So I'm linking the image to my video link, and I'm inserting it. I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to grab the button right here. And I'm going to say, watch now. And I'm going to put this, whoops, same URL right here, www, whatever that URL is for the video. I'll just use, it's best to go right to the source with that URL link so you don't mess it up. And even though that's not a video link, it's a link. I want you to see it. There's a link for my Watch Now button. And then I'd put the title of the video here. And maybe put a little space in between. So I have a little space here. And a little space there, maybe. And then I'm going to put the title of the video and a very short description of it here. Whatever it is, get to know, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is you want to write about the video, short paragraph to engage people. And then have a link to the video in the text, like watch here now. I got my caps lock on, whoops. Hyperlink that. And I could put another watch now button in if I wanted to, right there. So it's no mistaken, you want them to watch it. And now it's freezing up on me. All right. So you're following me on how to do a video, Marie? You are not embedding the code of the video. You're just linking it, which when you go to your video and you hit share, it gives you a link. Okay?
It's the image of the YouTube, like 1280, 720 or something, that ratio?
Yes.
The size.
Well, this should be shrunk down to 600 wide.
600 wide, okay.
Yeah, 600 wide, and then, so I can't really show you how to screen grab that image, but you want to go to YouTube and grab the screen because it's got all the controls and everything on it, and that's what indicates it's a video. All right. I'm running late. Any other questions, you guys? I think that's it for today.
Thank you.
Was that helpful?
Yes, it was.
All right. I'll share the video so that you can review it. All right, gang. I'm going to stop the recording. And stop the recording.